So we want to talk about, you said you've accomplished a lot of things starting at a pretty young age, being the starter for the USA gym as a senior in college, walking in, because personally my experience, my short stint with the USA gyms and whatnot, like I walk in there and like I just kind of like look around and I'm like, oh, wow. You go from like, the highest the high for college, and then you walk in the national team, I'm like, wow, I'm absolutely nobody. Okay, sounds good. And then I walk in there, it's like, geez, like, I mean, how'd you handle? I mean, just like going from, when did they start bringing you into the national team program?
It was after my sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year, and then like,
So
when did you start like kind of climbing? By senior year, you were a starter. So explain how that process was. Was it junior?
that first summer I got into the national team gym, I had won the starting spot towards the end of it. So basically how it went was sophomore year, freshman year we just talked about national championship,
right?
Get to the pinnacle, and then get to the national championship, didn't win the national championship.
Yeah,
sophomore year, yeah, I feel you. Sophomore year, have an extremely terrible losing season. So I'm like, oh man, this is real rough. And so I get a call from Spera, and he's like, I am considering bringing you into the national team. I am going to try out these 3 setters or 4 setters through World League. That is not you. And if I'm not completely in love and I don't find anybody that I'm sure I want to be our setter, you can come into the gym and you can try out, or not try out, but like basically shag balls.
Yeah.
And so I came in the gym, I was shagging ball, or he called me after World League. I'm just sitting around waiting. Called me after World League. He's like, I think I'm just going to bring you in, check you out. So come on in, check out the environment. And so I came in, shagging balls, wiping floors, keeping score. And I had the same reaction as you, of Gage, of like, oh man, that's Reed Pretty. Oh man, that's Rich Lamborn and Clay Stanley. I was in there at the time, and Rich was still playing at the time, and Matt Anderson, and like all these guys. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wipe the floors as best as I possibly can, not
the cleanest floors.
Yeah, the cleanest floors you could ever imagine. And that particular regime, like even 2008, a handful of those guys from 2008 were still in that gym, Rich Lamborn, Reed Pretty, and they were like a super anal, let's say hostile environment, screaming at you all the time. If you weren't standing like ready to run to wipe the floor up when somebody dove, like you're getting chewed out. So like, okay, here we go, let's do it right. And so I'm doing it, and then Kyle Caldwell was one of the setters that was, I think, the starter guy at the time. He sprained his ankle, and they didn't have any other setter in at the time. And I was like, all right, here we go, like freezing cold, like doing score, and
I'm going in.
I had to ask somebody to go do score, and then I got to jump in the court, and then I started winning. I started winning all the drills.
Helps a lot.
It wasn't like super pretty. It wasn't like this high world-class setter, but I think the coach and the team saw my competitive attitude and just the fact that I was doing anything to win. And then I was sitting there like stretching, and I'm sitting next to Rich Lamborn, and Rich is like little pit bull, buff,
big guy,
kind of a mean dude. He'll let you know what he's feeling. And I'm like, hey, Rich, like, is there anything that I can work on? Like, what do you see that I can do better? Any tips for me? I know you've been around the game a long time, and I'm just learning this level. And he's like, he was super caught off guard, because I think he was like a freaking young buck, like coming here trying to do his stuff, and he thought I don't know what he thought of me. So he was like caught off guard. He's like, nah, you're doing fine. I was like, that was huge. Like that, I don't know if he'll ever remember that, but that was huge for me.
That's really cool.
To hear Rich Lamborn be like, hey, you're doing all right, instead of like, oh, you got to do this, and this, because I was ready for the laundry list. And like that affirmation really helped me get my confidence of like, oh, I can compete with these guys, and I'm holding my own. And then we train. There's an Orsaka event at the end of the summer, which was a big one. It was a qualifier for Grand Champions Cup. We win that. I'm the starter. We win that. I get best setter and best server. That was back when I used to serve good. And then so that qualified us for the Grand Champions Cup, which was the top 6 teams in the world at the time. Italy, Russia, Iran, Japan, and it was in Japan. So I had already missed school. I'm going to go back to miss more school, which was awesome, but also very difficult. And then we go to Grand Champions Cup. I'm like, all right, like, I think I can do this. Or you're playing against Mazursky. We're playing against, like, Italy, the team that just knocked the USA out of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, the year prior.
The year before. And so we go there. We beat Italy in 5. Everyone's super stoked. We have to play Russia next to get on the medal stand. And I believe this was the tournament. So every year there's a tournament where it's called Operation Gold, where you can take, if you're a collegiate athlete, you could take the prize money from that tournament. Jeez. So I was like, all right, guys.
Show me the money.
Let's get this bronze medal here. Let's get this podium. Getting extra guac on Chipotle every day. And so we go to Russia. We're like, all right, we got to take down the big bad giants. Olympic champions, Mazursky just dominating everybody. All fired up, getting ready for the game. Boom, boom, 3-0, we out. Like, we get absolutely train rolled over. And missed the money, all of that. And so that was my first taste in international volleyball. But it was a successful one, let's say, in the first summer. And then, like you said, the senior year, going into senior year, we had won World League that year. And, of course, that was not Operation Gold, so I couldn't take any of that money either.
Yeah. Hey, I'm right there with you, kind of with the – but you get – with the USA gym, the good thing is if you're a collegiate athlete, you get reimbursed. So, I mean, so you're going there and you're just going to town. I love it, though.
I had that chocolate coconut milk. I went to back in the old apartments. There was a grocery store. I don't remember what brand it was, Ralph's or something. Oh, and it was every day. What are you feeling, guys? I got you. Dave Lee. He was like trying to cheat the system. He's like, Micah, go to like a steakhouse every night. Like they saved $60,000 on you, not after you won World League for us. Like, I go to a steakhouse. I'm like, Dave, like, I kind of feel terrible about that, but I will make giant grocery runs all the time.
Yeah. This one.
About midnight.
This one.